What do you get when you manipulate a bunch of girls to achieve fame and stardom by exploiting their most private moments and opinions of each other broadcasted through a $20 Netflix subscription? Hi, I'm Steam Genie. No, I'm not an expert dance teacher, and I don't have professional industry experience. I'm an independent artist, and I just sit on the internet and watch other people achieve their dreams. Drinks wine. Now, I want to start by saying I first discovered the group, ironically through their debut song, Debut. And at the time, there were only two songs, which were Debut and Touch. Now, I know Touch is the one that went pretty viral, and personally speaking, I like Debut much better. You know, it's just what drew me to the group. I first tried to watch Popstar Academy originally a few months back, but I figured, what was the point? I already knew who debuted. I don't need to watch a bunch of girls I don't know compete in a reality show. It just didn't really interest me at the time. But then, I don't know, suddenly I found myself consuming a lot of this history that we're never gonna get back. Let's talk about Dream Academy, shall we? Pop this on. The beginning of this 6.5-hour epic starts with an art film, which is nice to remember that this is art and not exploitation. It's endearing to see them introduce themselves and earn that spotlight that they deserved. But then we get the Bong Soon-hyuk stroke fest as the guy from Geffen gives him all the credit, and he proceeds to try to go on how he created the K-pop Olympics. He's then oogled by the contestants from a computer screen, and they are ominously sat down in a room with chairs and a screen. All directors' chairs, by the way, with a screen telling them what they are going to be doing. 2 dancing groups and 2 singing groups. The editing just makes it seem so beautiful and effortless. And then Nayoung just starts fucking crying.
기다려줘서 고맙고 열심히 해서 이제는 꼭 돼.
We really get to know the girls as they narrow in on each of their stories for a bit. Now, the editing with Samara, again, makes it seem like these girls are totally in control and everything is fine. I mean, when you watch Popstar Academy, you could tell that this seems like a very uncomfortable time for the girls, and it actually makes me sick watching it. I understand the K-pop standard, and Sun as well as Bang's mission to bring K-pop training to a worldwide scale has succeeded greatly. Yet you can't hate people for criticizing this. I mean, for God's sakes, you're training them to work hard, but you're severely fucked up in a lot of the business, as well as your respect. I mean, you easily could have acquired for these girls. You know what I mean? They violated an NDA? You violated their trust. They didn't consent to a reality show. That's fucking bullshit! You're so right. You're so right. It's all about the vision. You mean the propaganda feeding us to play their system? Everything just looks so innocent and perfect. Like, when the documentary showed an incredibly different side to all of this, I mean, it just feels wrong, you know? That's my biggest gripe with all this, is that it feels like we're being fed a lie. It's like that one reality show that Lalisa did, Youth with You, where she played a judge and criticized the contestants and tried to make them work harder. I mean, you know, that was honest. We saw what they were going through. Dream Academy kind of sells it like magical kind of Disney-esque sense. It's very weird, you know? And I don't like it. I just don't like it, you know? It's just like, why even watch this? You know? Now, this is the part where they individually interview everyone, and it takes a long time, you know? The first round of introductions takes approximately 45 minutes, and the second round goes to about the same, 35 minutes. At the Banghyung Stroke Fest, all the way to Mission A's Pink Venom, 45 minutes, we get to know each of the girls. Which is well-deserved, you know? And we get it, Samara. We've heard Paramore before. It's not like the song is 12 years old or anything. Samsung phone. Nice. Now we get to the performances. We have 4 groups split between 2 categories, versing, singing, and dancing. Now, the first group, which consists of Marquis, Emily, Israella, May, and Yoonchae. One thing can be said is that these girls are very talented. I mean, you are just smitten watching this. I mean, they are really good at dancing, all of them, personally. Emily is a little aggressive. You know, you could tell that she's very strong in her dance moves. Marquis nails it, as well as Yoonchae. May doesn't really stand out too much for me. I do think her performance is eclipsed a bit by the other girls, especially with Israella. I mean, amazing star power, doing good facial cues. I do think Marquis and May could take a few lessons from Yoonchae, even. Like when Yoonchae has her moment at the end, she genuinely looks happy. The others seem stiff in the face. I mean, Emily having notably good expressions, yet, I don't know. I just don't feel it. Now we have Blackpink, which consists of Adele, Megan, Daniela, Hinari, and Yua. Notably a better performance than OMG in my opinion. I mean, these girls snap, bro. Megan's good face work. Hanari is too loose. Shows not a lot of coordination. Not as sharp. Megan, Adela, and Daniela truly steal the show personally. I mean, Daniela's face is a little stiff, whereas Megan really goes all out. Adela, too. Very investing in the character of the song. Now we go to vocals, which, starting with Group A, we have Nayoung, Lara, Sophia, Samara, and Celeste. I've watched this significantly more and can give a proper critique on it, I believe. Right away, Celeste is lacking. I can't stand to hear her voice, really. It's too nasally. Everyone else does a fantastic job, noting Nayoung and Lara's singing being the best out of the two, personally. Lara is actually really good here. Sophia is good, but not as good as Nayoung, who absolutely kills right here. Sounds like a sunrise. Then Celeste ruins it. Samara has very good tone. Dare I say, Lara, Nayoung, and Samara might be my picks here. Now we have Group B. Oh man. I just want to say, Ilia Manon, the end. Carly is a good third, but her breath control is significantly lacking here. I don't terribly like Lexi's vocals here, but I don't think she's well at Brooklyn's corner. She's truly got more of a twang to her voice, really. Brooklyn. Real country vibes. Then you get this asshole. Anyway, the eliminations end with Hanari and Adela being disqualified, which, I mean, come on, guys. What? Disqualifying Adela with Hanari? Are you insane? Does that make any fucking sense to anybody out there? Then we get the Korean waifus, Sserafim, idolizing the girls in their progress and announce the second mission. Sserafim would then go on to meet them in person, which is pretty amazing to motivate them, especially after all this time of rehearsing and trying to do these performances, and help them cope with losing so many friends in this journey. They meet Big Bang for the first time, which he admits is the first time he has ever admitted to meeting trainees before they debut. They all then get to go to an amusement park, which is a well-deserved rest, honestly. I mean, I know it's only a day outside of the year dedicated to their lives, but I mean, to meet Bang, Sserafim, and then go to an amusement park in Korea sounds like a pretty well-deserved day off. They then routinely go into their prep for the next mission. We get interviews from Megan, who says that she's not comfortable with telling people what to do, but she has to be a leader. The Dream Academy's way of portraying that everything is just normal and fine. It's just been all lies. It's all fucking lies! Around this part, we can hear that Carly actually has steady breath work, and unfortunately they chose to use a take, which highlighted her in a bad way. Lara and Sophia then go in front of a statue, which I assume to be a wax figurine of Sharon Osbourne. Then we get into the filming of their covers of Anti-Fragile. Now, one thing I completely glossed over is how this mission works. They are split into 4 groups, where they verse each other for the better performance. 2 groups performing Anti-Fragile, with 2 groups performing Fearless. The first Anti-Fragile has Emily, Lara, Yoonchae, and Sophia. The second Anti-Fragile group is Samara, Carly, Ilia, and Megan. Now look at this. I mean, here at 2:43, Ilia just looks absolutely fucking devastated. The next is Fearless, which consists of Daniela, Manon, Ua, Ezrella, and Celeste. The second group is really sadly a team where no one would debut. Lexi, Marquis, May, Brooklyn, and Nayoung. We get brief commentary from all the girls, while Manon shows us how she's been advancing on her own while she's been sick. She honestly displays some serious talent in these few shots she rehearsed, and it shows. Now let's get into the performance. Yoonchae off the bat shows her skills. There's no competition there. Sophia is not strong here off the bat. Stable vocals, but she sounds awful. Lara struggles, but stays pretty strong. You can tell her and Yoonchae are strong here. I mean, Emily is quite shaky. I honestly think Sophia's support kept her afloat for this mission. I mean, she's not that good here, singing-wise. I do think they should have had Sophia or Lara hit that back note, however, as Yoonchae didn't do a good job. Emily just sharpened her moves. I honestly think they all did a pretty good job, really. I mean, Yoonchae being the best, but the others I'd probably put on the same scale as Emily exceeding in dance. Then we go into Group 2. You can tell off the bat how much less in key their singing is. Carly sounds like shit, and Samara hawks up a lung before she even begins singing. Megan hits that better than Emily. Megan really stands out here. Carly is really bad, and Samara was particularly good. Ilia I just kind of forget about, which sucks. Carly stands out more, but she didn't really hit that line that well either. Now let's get into my personal favorite song, which is Sserafim's Fearless. Brooklyn sounds like she's whispering, which Lexi sounds more like a K-pop star. Nayoung executes perfectly, and Brooklyn does not fit K-pop. May does a pretty good job. Lexi is perfectly in key. Marquis has good visuals, but if I had to put them on a scale, I think Lexi did the best, and Brooklyn did the worst. Now let's get to the next group. I mean, Danielle already has my attention. It's kind of crazy. I mean, great vocals. Ezrella's got pipes. Yue fucking sucks. Manon has pretty good pitch. And it was great hearing Daniela do that pitch after hearing Brooklyn sing it. I mean, Manon does great center. Off the bat, I must say, I already prefer this group. Yue being the least talented singing ear-wise. Everyone else is fairly strong. Celeste, I have nothing terribly impressive to say. And then we cut to the execs making their decisions with an aforementioned break time, which is not really break, but the girls doing another performance live in front of an audience. Manon is definitely much better here. I don't think Celeste's voice fits in this either. Then the girls comment on what they've done and how it makes them feel. There's a meet and greet that lasts an hour with photos from the girls as babies, following up into the most gruesome part of the whole academy, which is Mission 2 Eliminations, which is the most notorious in the whole academy. The one that hits the hardest after having gone to Korea and be so close to debuting, they might have to just get sent home right here and now, when they're just so close. I mean, they really exploit the girls here as they ask them very personal, intimate questions about how they individually feel about who they want in the girl group, with Yoonchae being the most confident given her rational perspective on her talents. The girls are very uncomfortable watching this, as it's them saying stuff that they're probably comfortable saying alone, but not to the whole room. Then they drop the bomb of who they want in their own group, Brooklyn being first. They're all very pleasant and can't decide who they pick. It's very vague, and they don't say who they want or who they don't want, but they do write it down on a piece of paper, and it's displayed to the entire room. It's like, damn, 11 girls really voted Ilya out? That's crazy. But now let's look at this for a second. 8 girls said they wouldn't mind if Emily got removed. Like, isn't that crazy? Goaded up as being the best dancer, and a top competitor for singing, and then all of a sudden 8 girls don't want her in a group and they'd be fine if she got eliminated this round. Like, there's some heavy jealousy going on there. Seeing Ilya get voted out here makes a lot more sense, because in Popstar Academy it felt like her reaction was a bit misleading and kind of just like out of nowhere. But seeing as how 11 people voted her out, she was just like, alright, I guess I'm out. 11 people wanted me out. Like, it wasn't even like a fair distribution of votes. There were 11 people there. Harley is the next to be eliminated. Ilya is then voted out, much to her non-surprise. Lexi looks like she's about to puke. They really hype up Marquis in May. There's no competition. Marquis wins. Then we get a recap of all the votes people received, showing us that Yua beat May by roughly 2,434 votes, and Emily beat Yua by only 1,995 votes. Those are some seriously close calls. Had 4,429 people not voted, Emily would have been eliminated. We then get short interviews from the eliminated Broken, trying to make us feel bad for them. Ilya is clearly pissed. She thinks the other girls were jealous. Then Lexi dips because she's pissed how management in the show handled everything, which I find interesting though, is that it's not revealed why she's leaving. We only find that out in Popstar Academy. Then we have Umberto introduce Mission 3, which is 3 different songs that 3 different groups will perform, singing and dancing live, just like in Mission 2. The songs are Confident by Demi Lovato, Laura, Yoonchae, Marquis, and Megan. The next group being Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls, which features Daniela, Sophia, Manon, Celeste, and Nayeon. The last group song is Wannabe by the Spice Girls, which features Emily, Ezrella, Yua, and Samara. Again, same formula. We hear the girls talk about the performance and get show rehearsals from that time. I mean, they're all clearly exhausted and stressed, but the network does a good job perceiving them as having fun, giving it their all, and it's just a joyous time, and Megan definitely shows her stuff here, and Laura praises her breath control. Then it goes into the Buttons group, watching them rehearse and going into the shoot. The last group is Wannabe, where again we see footage of the girls rehearsing, doing interviews. They just really bounce off of each other. Yua just does not impress me or sound good. Samara's breath control is like probably the most impressive thing about her, as opposed to the dancing, which is not bad, but is not as sharp as someone like Megan. But she sounds like a star. Like she could be in the Spice Girls. And I think Samara and Ezrella top the vocals here. I mean, I don't think Emily is too terrific vocally, but I feel like I hear too much of like her voice when I want to hear the belting kind of like deeper, something like Manon hits. It just feels like I compromise my ears to hear hear it. Now we go into confident, which clearly shows off the current Cat's Eyes members' skills very well. I think Marquis struggled vocally here a bit, whereas Megan, Lara, and Yunche just stable and powerful. Even though Lara sounds almost sick here, and definitely doesn't shine as much as Megan or Yunche, I'd say Marquis even kind of steals the show from Lara a bit here too. Yunche, there's no debate why she's in this group. I mean, she's good. Lara definitely shines after Megan, and Megan's big part though, in my opinion. I mean, just listen to this belt. It's the way that she is able to just do that while dancing. Then we get the critically acclaimed Buttons, which immediately off the bat draws your attention with all the ass shaking and panty exposing. Also just being a killer song, which Sophia slays instantly, shows no weakness. Manon really comes into her own here as well, shows that her skills have truly matured. Daniela clearly is a star. I mean, I also think this performance blew up because all these girls are very strong in their performances. Like, none of them are really weak. I mean, Celeste in her voice, you know, it actually works here. You know, there's some parts where I'm just like, you know, but I find myself actually singing her parts.
Big and juicy, girls got on me.
Now, this is the part where they bump Nayoung from debuting because she expressed interest in doing a solo project. But Missy actually reveals that it's because she feels like she wouldn't want to take the spot away from one of the girls who really want it and want to be in the girl group. So she just said that to kind of leave and go her own way. Anyway, the ones who get sent home are Nayoung, Celeste, and Yua. Celeste is fucking heartbroken, with Nayoung kind of feeling alright. We then finally get to the debut section where we see the members chosen for Cat's Eye. Now we get two last performances before the big announcement, which is performing two original songs, ironically segregated. The first group is Daniela, Megan, Emily, Yunche, and Marquis, ironically all light-skinned. Now they're all strong here basically, all stars who should have industry connections at this point to launch their own careers. The next group is Manon, Israela, Sophia, Lara, and Samara doing Dirty Water. It's a very interesting song to have a group of brown women sing. Lara really impresses Sun here considerably, which compared to Confident, she's like a different person. The judges stroke Sophia's cock. We then witness the art film from the beginning again for some reason. We then get one last performance with all the girls together, which really rubs me the wrong way. I mean, to perform this song like that almost satires their entire experience together, making them feel very vulnerable and almost like airing their dirty laundry of their entire production with this song. Marquis' vocals fit really well here, and I think it fits all the girls really well, honestly. Maybe that's why they had them all fucking perform it. So, fuck it. I'm done watching this shit. We get one last comment from the execs, interviews with the contestants, then we finally get to see who is debuting. Okay, everybody knows who debuted. Okay, we got Sophia, Lara, Yunche, Daniela, Megan, and lastly, Manon. Big fucking shocker. The announcer then goes up to the girls and asks them how it was and how much it fucking sucks to have not debuted. If you go to the Wikipedia page, you notice that there are some colors on her voting, and if you scroll down, it says here that the light blue is the contestant received enough fan votes to be safe from elimination, and the dark blue is the contestant was of a winning team and was safe from elimination. Now, quite a bit of girls were on a winning team and survived elimination, but Sophia mostly won 2 out of 3 missions based solely on fan votes, and if you scroll over to the right, she only got 38.33 support from the judges, which is roughly the second highest. So she was destined to debut no matter what, because she was ranked very highly by the judges, but she came in at number 1 because the audience had garnered her a whopping 50 points, which means 50 points of those votes were audience members. Every other girl had to struggle with something. They were either on a winning team in Mission 2 or they had enough fan votes, but realistically, the only ones who had fan votes that made them survive in the first mission were Yunche, Manon, Samara, and Nayoung, and then nobody had enough votes in Mission 3 except for Laura and Sophia. Everybody was vulnerable in Mission 3 except those two. A lot of people who didn't get eliminated in Mission 2 were on a winning team, and that's why they succeeded. Laura had an astounding amount of support from fans, as she literally garnered half support from judges and got half support from fans. So she was 50-50 in her support. Daniela, as well as having received half support from judges and half support from fans, she was also destined to debut. Judges only ranked Emily 36.67%, which is roughly 40 points from fans. Daniela actually received less support from judges than Emily, who ranked 36.67% from the judges, but Daniela only ranked 36. But because she had the support roughly 40 points from fans, That's why she got to debut, whereas Megan really had to grind because she did not get a lot of support from fans, but the judges gave her a lot of support and she actually scored with the most amount of points from the judges with 41.33 points, second only being Daniela, but her final score was 68.33. Which means she only garnered 27 point support from fans. So if the judges didn't believe in her, Megan might not have debuted. Manon, believe it or not, came in 9th in fan votes, which resulted in her just being able to debut. Because if you do the math, Samara was only 1.33 points behind Manon. Emily and Marquise sadly did not get enough fan support to debut, and I do think that has a lot to do with their social media presence. Well, I'm just going to end it off right here. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
Sophia, Laura, Yunche, Megan, Daniela.